Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So we're going to get started shortly. We're just giving people some time to join. Feel free to ask us questions. We will get started as soon as we're going to start at 2 o'clock. So we'll give people time to join us, and then we're going to get started.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I think just about everyone is here. Gonna let this one person in. Hi, y'all. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to learn more about Cougar Village 1. Okay, we're being admitted. All right, so we're going to tell you today a little bit about the community that you'll be living in. Let's see if I can move through here. Welcome to Cougar Village 1. We're so glad you're here, or you will be here with us in the fall. We got some big things planned. So to tell you a little bit about Cougar Village 1, about the community that we're living in, this wonderful building was built a little more than 10 years ago in 2010. It is home every year to over 1,000 first-year residents. We have a 24-hour information desk. So if ever you need anything as a resident, there is always someone down at the desk for you. We are home to the honors program students. So honor students live in our building in the 5th through 7th floors. We do have a free gym and free laundry for all residents, just with a swipe of your card. We also have a computer lab that you can use with access with your card. Every room has every floor, has 2 full-size kitchens, study rooms on every floor, and there are social lounges that you can hang out, watch TV, do homework, all the things. We have multi-purpose rooms and classrooms. We also have a convenience store downstairs, the marketplace. So even if you are not a Cougar Village 1 resident, you can use your meal plan, your Cougar Cash, and swipe it there at the convenience store. We also have the TAP office, our transfer advising program. And then we have our tutoring center or launch on our first floor. And it gives you access to so many different classes, whether you live in our community or not. So if you're a Cougar Village 1 resident, but you have a few friends in other communities that you know might not be doing so hot in some of their classes, tell them to come on over to the launch station. Okay, so here's the professional staff you'll be working with all year. I am Jody A. McDougall, one of the residential life coordinators.
And I'm Dr. Shamika Phipps, and I'm the other residence life coordinator. So I mainly work with floors 2 through 4.
And I work with floors mainly 5 through 7.
I am Tiffany Dewberry. I'm the residential supervisor. I supervise the staff at the 24-hour desk. So I work with all of the floors in some capacity.
So I know that you all may be wondering, like, okay, so what do you all do? Just to kind of give you a quick overview of what we do. We pretty much manage the day-to-day operation of the residential facility. We work one-on-one with students who may need additional support. We also supervise the community mentor and the resident advisors within the community. If there are any facilities concerns, if you're having issues, maybe locating like a campus office or anything like that, we are the liaison for that for you. If you want some life experiences and some knowledge on how to navigate this college experience, we would definitely be the people that you can come to if you want to speak to a professional. We live within a community, so we are in this thing with you all. We also serve on call. We serve in a 24-hour on-call rotation. So if there are some things that you may need after hours, there's always going to be someone available for you to support you throughout this journey.
The SRDs, we do not live on campus, but we are usually in our offices from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, every single day. So if you have any general questions, you need questions about your housing agreement or anything like that, I would usually be the one that you would come and see. And like I said, my office is open from 8 to 5. You can come at any time.
And Ms. Dewberry is also the person that's, if you're having some issues with your locks and things like that, room changes, she is the go-to person for that. So if you have lost your key or if you are considering a room change to a different community, she would be like the main point of contact for you as well.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Aside from our professional staff living in the building, we also have faculty in residence. So the faculty in residence program is collaboration between the divisions of academic affairs and student affairs that strengthens the connection between students' academic and residential learning experiences. So the cool thing is you get to have a professor living in the building with you. That doesn't mean you're going to have like extra coursework or anything crazy like that, but that means you get to have that resource close to home. So for academic needs, for any academic affairs related things, they are kind of your professional staff, like Dr. Phipps and myself and Ms. Dewberry, and they're the people that you go to on the more academic side of things.
And the cool thing about our FR program, which we refer to as FIR, they actually host programs. I know the previous FIR that lived in our community, she lived here about 3 years ago, and she was hosting programs at her home. So she did like a study break program where she did, I think it was during this fall semester. It was towards the end of the semester where she allowed students to come into the home. They was able to make like study break kits. You made like snacks and things like that. She also did this major mixer. So she connected students based on their major, and you was able to form groups, and those same groups that you was able to form during the major mixer, you could actually utilize them for like study groups. So they actually do programs within the community as well. So you can go to them for any academic related questions, but also attend some of the programs that they offer. One of the things that we do within our department, we offer a FIR dinner. So what happens is the FIR coordinates a dinner. It can be like food from Jimmy John's or Pink's Pizza, and you pretty much get opportunity to learn about their research and their particular discipline. We have a variety of faculty and residents that live throughout our community, and they're in various disciplines. So if you have, although they may be in different disciplines, they still will be able to answer any academic related questions that you may have.
I wanted to let you guys know that the chat is open. So if you have any questions, you can definitely put it in the chat if you don't want to ask out loud, and we'll be sure to answer them for you.
I did see one question in the chat about launch. It is free, but I believe you have to set up an appointment so that they can make sure they can offer the class that you're needing. They may have to make sure that they are offering it or have a person there that can help you specifically. So it's free, but you need an appointment.
And also, in addition to that, so they also offer workshops. So Launch offer a variety of workshops. So if you are struggling with like time management, if you want to learn various study skills or how to better form, how to form effective study groups, they offer a variety of workshops. So, and they're also free. So if you are in need of that academic support, that is definitely a free resource available for you.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about our professional staff. Let's learn a little bit about our student staff. So some of the student staff that we might be interacting with, or you all might be interacting with most commonly, are our resident advisors. A few of their job roles are working with administration to make sure you guys are following policy and procedure and that your years are going as smoothly as possible. Community building, it's our first year back from the pandemic full force. So we're relearning how to be face-to-face with people. Leadership, they're going to be that person in your hall, on your floor, that can help you a little bit with leading, with campus resources and any questions you may have. And then safety and community standards, making sure that you live in a place that is safe and comfortable. After that, we have our community mentors. We have 2 community mentors that live in our building, one for our high team and one for our low team. Those are people that you will go to more closely. You'll have like more personal relationships with them for your academic needs. So if you know you're struggling in a class and you want to go to someone directly that you know will help you, that's your CM. If you don't want to make an appointment at lunch, or you can't get a hold of your CM is the person to call. And then, of course, we have our desk assistants, those who are working that 24-hour information desk. And another role of theirs is to build relationships and promote engagement.
So just to kind of underscore some of the things that Ms. McDougal said, your RAs will pretty much be hosting programs. They're going to be facilitating community building programs with you all so that you can feel connected and a sense of belonging to your floor. In terms of the administration, they are required to have interactions with you all. So if an RA is coming to you and talking to you, please don't push them away. They just want to check in with you to see how you are doing so that we can make sure that we are, connecting you all to the appropriate resources and making sure that you feel connected within our community. They also serve, and many of our RAs are leaders within other student organizations on campus. So that's another way that you can get plugged into student organizations. So you want to, ask your RA, what are some things that you're involved in? Because they may very well be in some of those organizations, or they can connect you to the people of those organizations. So definitely make sure that you're trying to learn about their experience because they are college students as well. So they're going through this experience with you all. And then the safety and the community standards. So we do health and safeties. RAs are responsible for coming into the room and just pretty much doing like a scan to make sure that your room is in a place that is conducive for, learning, and also like it's a safe place for you to live. They also serve on call. So you'll probably see RAs kind of roaming around the building. It's because they want to make sure that the community is safe and there's not, any concerning issues that we may need to report. The community mentors, they are like another academic resource for you. They will be meeting one-on-one with you. So if you get an email from a community mentor say, hey, come and meet with me, please meet with them. They genuinely just want to know like how you're doing, and also figure out if there are any like resources that they can provide you. And they also do advising of hall council. So if you're seeking ways to get involved within our community, they serve as the advisor for hall council. So definitely connect with them, learn more about, how you can get engaged and plugged into the community. And our lovely front desk staff, they are your pretty much first contact in terms of like issues. So if you have things that you need support, you'll call the front desk, or you can connect with your RA. But mainly, if you call the front desk, it's someone to help you all the time. And we just ask that you be respectful to them, and that you're communicating whatever your needs are to them, so they can kind of relay that information to the appropriate person. So that's pretty much a summary, in like trying to give you some examples of like some of the day-to-day things that they do.
Okay, so I do see a few, thank you so much, Dr. Phipps, for summing that up for us. I do see a few messages in the chat, a few questions. So let's hit on those. This next session will hit on some of those. A few of you asked about the dimensions of the room and room specifics. So we'll cover that real quick. Okay, so everything that comes in your room, this is what a Cougar Village room usually looks like. You will have you and your roommate in a room, and then in that same suite, another set of roommates. And the four of you will share a bathroom with the two sinks that you see at the bottom, the toilet and the shower. So every room comes with a bed, desk and chair, dresser, and mini fridge. So there are a few things. Those are things you will not need to bring. You don't need to bring a mattress. You don't need to bring anything, any extra desk or anything. Those will already be there. You can bring like a microwave. Feel free to bring lamps and other items that will help decorate your space, because you'll be living here for a year. So bring things like that, but none of these essentials. Let me go back to the chat and make sure I covered.
Really quick, generally you're not allowed to bring an additional mini fridge unless it is you have a dietary need, and you would have to apply for that dietary need through the housing portal. So you can't bring extra things like the extra bed and extra fridge and stuff like that.
And the reason behind that is that we want to make sure that your space is conducive for learning. And we also don't want to get in trouble with the fire marshal, because some of these things have been like, approved by the fire marshal, and like we want to make sure that the space is, it's safe, and in the event that there's a crisis, everybody should be able to exit safely.
You can adjust the bed height. So if you're wanting to adjust the height of the bed, I suggest you go out and get a rubber mallet?
A rubber mallet. So
rubber mallet.
You can adjust the bed on your own if you feel confident enough to do that. But usually when move-in starts, there is a sign-up sheet at the front desk that you can sign up, put your name, where you live, and what bed you want it to be, what bed you need to either higher or lower to adjust. And after everyone's moved in, that's when they go around and they make those adjustments. If you feel like you don't want to wait, if you feel like you want to do it on your own, simply get a rubber mallet, and you should be able to do it yourself. But if you don't feel comfortable, you'll have to wait until after everyone's moved in, and then fix it, and maintenance will go around and adjust the beds to your liking.
I think that you all also, like, in terms of safety, I would also advise you all to just take the option of allowing Fix-It to do it, because if something happens while you're trying to loft the bed, there's not a lot of, like, we can't do anything if you hurt yourself in the room, trying to loft your bed. So I would advise to take advantage of the Fix-It service that we have, which we'll talk a little bit about that later, and just allow them to adjust the bed just to be safe. And we don't want you to damage anything, because if you break the bed, then you will have to pay for it. So we just, just to be safe, and it's also save money, I would advise to do the second option Ms. Dewberry recommended. We do have another question in the chat. Do we use a key or card for the building or our room and our single bedroom? So you will use both. You will use your Cougar card for entry into the community, and you will use your key, your one key that you'll be assigned to move in to your exterior door and your room door. So yes, we have keys, and you also have your Cougar card. So that allows you to get into the main entrance of our community, and then you'll use your actual physical key to get into your bedroom and then the exterior door. And could we bring a Keurig? Yes. You can bring a Keurig.
I see a question here about the dimensions of the room. I cannot give you exact dimensions of the actual room because they're all different sizes, kind of based on where they are in the building, a corner room, a middle room, whatever it may be. But I can tell you some specifics. Our window sizes are 41.5 inches wide and 31 inches tall. The beds are saying twin XL, but I'm almost certain that twin XL, prepare for twin XL. 3-drawer chest is 30 inches in width, 24 inches in depth, and 30 inches in height. Whoever asked me that dimension question, I hope you're writing this down. Desk is 42 inches in width, 24 inches in depth, and 30 inches in height. Those are the most specific dimensions I can give you. If you have any more questions, feel free to call our main housing office. But again, all of the rooms here are a little bit different. When will I know who my roommate is? I believe you can go onto your My Housing portal, but Mr. Dewberry can give the real nitty-gritty specifics.
So usually your roommate, if you are assigned a roommate, it will be on your housing portal, but you can only see the person that you're in the room with. You are not able to see the other 2 people in the room for some reason. If you email someone in housing, or if you email me, I can give you their names, but that is all the information I can give you. And maybe you can find them on Facebook. That's what they ask you to do. Maybe find them on Facebook and kind of get in contact with them that way. If you never see anybody on your housing portal, that means you probably don't have a roommate. So as long as there is name there, that means that's your roommate. If you don't see anybody, that means that nobody's in the room with you yet.
Okay, I just got a question. It was a question about the thickness of the mattress. I just want to say that if you get a twin XL sheet embedding, you will be fine. That is the typical standard size bedding that we recommend. But yeah, that is what we would recommend in terms of like the bedding, twin XL.
So someone asked if microwaves are on the floor. I don't think they're included.
I believe they're in the kitchen. Isn't there microwaves in the kitchen?
There is one. There are some in the kitchen, though. Then there's a free kitchen on every floor, so feel free to use those.
Yeah, you are allowed to bring your own, though. You can bring your own microwave. Yes, you can.
You can put it wherever you want. I would suggest maybe not on the floor. The refrigerators are able, I think, to be moved around. Please do not bring your own desk chair, because you cannot take the desk chair in the room that's in there out. So you'll then have just 2 desk chairs. And then if the fire marshal comes through and says this is a fire hazard, guess what? There is not a ceiling fan in the room. So I would suggest bringing those, or bringing fans, floor fans, or desk fans. I would say it's really about preference. Do you suggest we move in with boxes or suitcases? Suitcases may be easier for those of you that are going to travel back and forth from home or wherever else. Boxes can be disposed of. So it's all up to preference, I think, on that one. We will have some staff and some UH volunteers helping, so whatever is easiest to pick up probably is best. Are there key cards or metal keys for the room? I think Dr. Phipps hit on that. You'll be using both. Some recommendations for what we bring. Again, don't bring any of these things on this list, but other things just to make the room very much your own. Okay, I'm gonna do a few more of these questions and head to the next one. Do I have to sleep every night in my room, or can I stay in my parents' house? Feel free to go home on the weekends or whatever. You don't have to stay in your room. We suggest you stay in your room sometimes because you and your family are paying for it. So we hope that it's a comfortable enough space that you are wanting to stay here for the year. And are there common bathrooms available on the floor other than the suite bathrooms? No. So you guys have the bathrooms that you use, but we do have common bathrooms. I think 2 sets of common bathrooms on the first floor. So on either side of the building. Okay, I'm gonna head on to the next slide, but if you have more questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Okay, so you guys are moving into Cougar Village 1. We told you what we do as professionals, what student staff does, but now we have to tell you what your job is living here. So some things to always do. Carry your Cougar card and your room key. Without your Cougar card, you cannot get into the front doors. You cannot get upstairs to your residential space. And without your room key, you cannot get in. So if all 3 of your suite mates are gone and it's just you, you're going to be outside in the hallway until someone picks up the phone. Always respect others. We are in a space with over 1,000 people on a campus with a lot more than that. For us to get along, we all have to respect each other, no matter what. So that's our #1 priority. And then reach out to your RA for success. That's why they are here. They want to see you be successful students, but also successful citizens. So if you need something, whether it's academic or more personal, let them know we are here to help you. I'm including myself, Tiffany, and Dr. Phipps in the we are here to help. Never, here's some nevers. Never bring fire hazards, weapons, or drugs into the building. So those fire hazards are something as simple as candles or Christmas lights for decorations. Do not bring them in because our fire system can tell us exactly where the fire started. Won't be good for you. Weapons of any kind, please do not bring them in the building. And then drugs, for several reasons, of course. Do not let people tailgate in behind you. People will try. If you just have this door flag and open, not only will students of other communities walk in, people from the surrounding community can walk in. And if you just have a person from who knows where knocking on your door at 8:30 in the morning, you wouldn't be very happy. And never leave your room or suite door unlocked. Again, we have over 1,000 people living in this building. I promise you, you will not know every single one of them. You do not want to just have all of your belongings that you worked so hard to get ready and pack and move in to make your space so wonderful taken from you. And lastly, a few things to remember. Remember that college is all about learning and growth. So be open-minded. The whole reason you guys are coming here is for this new phase of life to learn some new things, to be new people. So be open-minded. Remember, you're sharing a space. Practice cleanliness. You might have had a room to yourself for the past 10 plus years. You might be an only child who is living it up. That is no longer the case. It is at least 2 people living in your suite. We're going to keep it clean. We will have our student staff and occasionally our professional staff coming around to do those safety and cleaning checks to make sure that our community is as safe and as clean as possible. So continuing to practice that cleanliness will help you for when those come around. And lastly, remember to make good choices and have fun. This is our first year back in full force. This is my first year in CV1. So let's get super excited. This is y'all's first real year in college. Let's make some good choices and have fun so we can have a successful year together. Oh, All right, living with a roommate.
Okay, so living with the roommate, as Miss Maduba said, you'll be living with someone other than yourself, and so the first thing I think that she mentioned is like being respectful. One of the things that we do at the very beginning of the semester is that you all have to complete a roommate agreement. So with the roommate agreement, I know in the beginning it's all good. Your roommate can wear all your clothes, they can like eat your food, but come mid-October, it's a problem. So what we want to do in the beginning, we want you all to take completing this roommate agreement very seriously. You all are required to do this. Your RAs will be there to provide assistance with this. During that time, you'll talk about, well, what is, who's going to be doing the cleaning? Who's going to be buying the toiletries? What time is it okay for guests to come over? Can I borrow some of your personal items? All of these things will be listed in the roommate agreement, and we put this here so that you all can start to have clear communication from day one with your roommate, because again, you're living with someone who's totally different from you, and this is a new experience for both of you all, and so it's about compromising, figuring out what's a appropriate what is appropriate living situation for both the parties that are involved. And also we take into consideration your suite mate. So there's your roommate, the person that lives in the room with you, and then your suite mates are the people that lives on the other side. So we want you to start having conversation with everybody in the room, because what will happen is conflict is going to happen. You're going to talk to your RA. And then if it's not resolved within your RA, you're going to have to come and talk to Miss McDougal or myself, and we're going to try to figure out what the problem is. And if we're not able to figure out what is appropriate solution, then you may have to go through the conduct process. And Ms. McDougal and myself serve as conduct officers for the university. So we have to make sure that you all are adhering to the rules and regulations of the university, as well as our housing department. So, and living with the roommate, believe it or not, is a part of our code of conduct. So you want to make sure that you all are, talking about expectations, and you all are talking about, what's off limits and what is appropriate. So I think that Sunday, when y'all first move on the campus, there will be a floor meeting with your RAs, and they're going to talk to you about expectations and things of that nature. And they're also going to talk to you about completing the roommate agreement. So talking about clear communication from the start, addressing issues early, that's what the roommate agreement is in place for. Establish what items are shared and exclusive. So all of these things are going to be in the roommate agreement. Locking your door, I cannot stress that enough. Locking the door and not allowing people to piggyback off of you within the community is very important. And in fact, that is one of our top priorities, to make sure that you're safe within your community. And you have to do your part as a community member to make sure, one, you're locking your door. I know it's easy to kind of leave it unlocked, and then you don't have to like pull your key out and things of that nature. But it's, you got to be responsible. You're coming to college again to learn and to grow. You have to make sure that you're locking your room, because if you don't lock your room door, you're pretty much saying anything in my room is free game. You can come in and take it, because that's what people may do, because your room is open and they have access to your space. So make sure that you're locking your room door and your suite door. We do not want to hear about, students leaving their rooms unlocked, or, leaving the exterior doors unlocked because someone has lost the key. That's when you need to go talk to Ms. Dewberry to see if you can, get a temporary key, or to say, hey, I lost my key. I need a lock change. And we'll do that for you, because we don't want people.
Do not hand your key off to anyone else. I'm sorry, Ms. Spence. Do not hand your key off to anyone else. Don't give it to your friend like, oh, I just gave it to her so she can get in. Absolutely not. Do not do that.
And in fact, that is also a violation of the code of conduct. So you don't want to be passing off your key to anybody, because then you're granting them access and they're not even assigned to your space. So you should hold on to your key. If you need a lanyard, let us know. I think you're going to be passing out lanyards in the beginning of this move-in. So if you need a lanyard, get a lanyard so that you can have your key. But yes, again, don't let people piggyback off of you, come into the building, because this is your home. And you want to make sure that the people who are in here are supposed to be here. You don't want people that's just randomly walking around your community inside of your home. So that's what we want to kind of get you all in the mind frame thinking about, because that's one of the biggest things that we see a lot. Students just kind of letting people piggyback or allow other people to utilize their room key to get in their room because it's so easy and convenient. Another piece is being open-minded, be willing to learn, treat others how you want to be treated, and understand that you don't have to be best friends with the people that you're living with. You can agree that this is, we're roommates and nothing beyond that. We do encourage you to have relationships with your roommate, like get connected, y'all go to events and things like that together, but we are not encouraging you to be best friends with your roommate. We understand that. Okay. And then remember that your RA, and I like to refer to ourselves as your hall staff, is here to help you. I did have a question in the chat. Is can we bring pepper spray on the keychain? That I am really not sure, Tiffany. Ms.
I feel like I've seen students with it and no one said anything about them having it. I think that's something we have to double check, but I've seen students and females with the pepper spray on their keychain just for safety. I could check with our UHPD to see if that's okay for them to have.
Yeah, so yes, so that's a really good question. Thanks for asking that. We'll double check on that, but if you want an immediate answer, you can contact UHPD and say, hey, I'm considering bringing this. Is that appropriate or not? And they will be able to definitely tell you if it's allowed on campus. So someone asked about, do we make our own roommate agreement? No. So we have a roommate agreement document that your RAs are going to facilitate, and you'll get all of the information during your first floor meeting. They will go over the roommate agreement. You all are supposed to sign that and kind of go over the information. I do know that these things change. Like, it's a live document. So there are some issues where you said, okay, if we can have visitors to 10 o'clock at night, and you realize that 10 o'clock is a little too early. Let's push it to 12 a.m. You all can always go back and revise that roommate agreement, but you all have to, come be in agreement with what's on that document, because everybody that's in the room and the suite have to adhere to that.
Another reason why the roommate agreement is important is when you decide that you just are kind of fed up and don't want to live with your roommate anymore. So when it comes to room transfers, we're looking at, did you communicate these things with your roommate? Have you tried all the avenues before you decide to move? Because I think that in this situation, our room transfer process is more of a learning process for you guys. So, you're not going to like everybody you live with. Like Miss Dr. Phipps said, you don't have to be best friends with your roommate, but you have to be able to articulate the things that are wrong and the things that you want to improve. If you're not able to articulate that and you're sitting in your room and your roommate is mad at you and you don't know why, I can't just give you a transfer because you didn't even try to figure out, you didn't try to find a different solution. So like sometimes it's just communication. Sometimes you just aren't communicating and things like that. So when it comes to the transfer process, please make sure that you do the roommate agreement in real time. Like Dr. Phipps says, if things change, make sure you put those changes in there, because when it comes time for you to transfer because of roommate issues, we're going to be looking at the pattern. We're going to be looking and making sure we follow the transfer process.
I have another question. Is what is the room temperature? And there's an elevator. And if there's an elevator. So the room temperature, you all can adjust that how you all see fit. And that's one other thing that we've had issues in the past where one roommate wants it to be on 75 and the other one wants it 60. So you all have to mutually agree on a time that, a temperature that you all want it to be on, because we can't, like I said, it's individually managed. And so that's something that you will have to agree upon with your roommate and your suite mates. Yes, we do have elevators. We have 4 elevators. We have 3 on the main floor, on the main lobby area. And then there's one north elevator that's really, we consider it the lunch hallway. It's over in the lunch hallway. So if you on the north side of the building, it may be easier to just go on the elevator. We do not have specific visiting hours. So
we don't, but it's supposed to be 48 hours.
Well, yeah, visitation. So if you're asking about overnight guests, then that's different. If you're talking about just visitation, right? So we have two. So if you are trying to bring overnight guests over, I mean, you have to communicate that with your roommate, and they cannot stay more than, like Ms. Dewberry said, 48 hours.
I have a couple questions here. The room does come with a shower curtain, but if you come to your room and you don't have one, let us know and we can provide you for one. I know Miss McDougal said you can't bring your own. You can bring your own chair, but you can't do anything with the other one. So the other one is just kind of going to be sitting in your room. I have seen people bring their own chairs if you want something a little bit more comfortable. I do understand that. So you're just going to have two chairs. There's no other place to put the additional chair. That's why we discourage students from bringing extra chairs.
I have a, go ahead. I have a few questions about pocket knives. I think those are certainly considered a weapon. So we would ask that you don't bring a pocket knife. You cannot have air fryers in the room because they have exposed hot plates when you take them out. A few people ask about air fryers, so please do not bring an air fryer. LED lights, like Christmas lights, if that's what you're asking, we ask that you not bring those for decoration. There are certain lights that you can bring that I think go within our policy, but I think those are more specifically listed maybe on our website.
I also had one question about, well, actually two questions. So I had one question about moving in January because of some issues. If you are signing up with agreement with us, it's for the full academic year, unless there are 3 qualifying events, and Ms. Dewberry will be able to speak on those. But if you have a housing agreement with us for the fall, then that is for the full academic year. Now, if you want to live with us in the spring, I think that may be something else that I'm not previewed or I don't deal with on a day-to-day, and Ms. Dewberry can kind of talk to you a little bit about that. And then the last question I had was, do we take attendance daily? So the only time that we really take attendance is during like our first floor meeting, because it's it's mandatory that you attend meetings. Other than that, we don't take any attendance. We do encourage you to participate in our programs and events and things that are happening in our community, but those things we don't necessarily take attendance in terms of holding you accountable for not participating.
I have a question here. Do we have a curfew? No. You can literally do whatever you want within the student code of conduct guidelines, but no one's going to be looking for you or anything like that. But just try to be responsible while you're here. Like if you have classes, I'm not saying if you have classes in the morning, make sure you're getting enough sleep at night. So no one's going to be like, hey, you have class in the morning and you need to come home. No, that's definitely your personal responsibility.
And just to add to that, this is an opportunity for you to, you're now launching into the emerging adult phase. So you're learning and discovering a lot about yourself. So you're going to have a lot of autonomy and a lot of freedom to do what you want. But again, making those good choices and, making sure that if you have class at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's probably not a good idea to stay out to 6 o'clock in the morning and you have to go to class the next day. So this is, like I say, if you decide to do that, just know that, there are going to be some, some, I don't like to say consequences, but like if you have class 8 o'clock in the morning, you coming back at 6 a.m., you're probably going to be tired. And then that tiredness is going to translate to you not being focused in class. So everything kind of builds up off itself. And so like if you it's important for you to make good decisions. Talk to us. We've been in school. We've been in your shoes before. So, and also your RAs, like I said, they're student leaders as well, and they're going through it with you. So this is a great opportunity for you to connect with them and learn about their experiences.
Okay, so with you guys coming into that emerging adult phase, learning new things, being open to growth and opportunity, we have a couple of tips for success for your very first year here at UH. First and foremost, please go to class. You or whoever is spending entirely too much money for you not to go. Please go to class. Visit with your professors. That's what they're there for. So if you go to class and you say, I have no idea what we just talked about, that is the perfect time to utilize your faculty's office hours, shoot them an email, get to know them on the regular basis. So just in case that B plus turns into a C minus, they gotcha. Get involved in student organizations. We have so many organizations here on campus. So whatever fits your fancy, for your interests, your values, your different identities, feel free to join some of our wonderful student organizations. Get to know people, find leadership opportunities, all of it. Volunteer in the local community. One great thing about UH is Houston is not just a college town. We are still very much the city. So you can interact with people that are just among the city, regular Houstonians. Give back to the community. Read the student code of conduct and your academic catalog. So before you get to us, all of this information is public knowledge. So you can just type in on Google UH student code of conduct and get privy to some of the policies and procedures that we already have here on campus. So when you come and you do something that's out of policy and I say, hey, you there? Did you do X, Y, and Z? And you say, I had no idea. I'll say, that's not true because you read that code of conduct. Read the code of conduct, know what you're getting into. Attend programs and events. We already told you that different student organizations will have programs all around campus. Your RAs, CMs, and FIR will have programs within the building. So there are always fun events, educational events for you to go to learn more about yourself and those around you. Explore the library. Even if you say, hey, I'm not a huge reading for fun person, or they don't really have a lot of the books for my classes in the library, feel free to go get some UH history, learn more about it. The library is pretty cool. And go to the Writing Center and launch. CV1 of all people on this campus. And I'm looking in your eyes right now. Have no excuse to not be excelling in all of their classes because we have launch right downstairs. You don't even have to leave your building to get academic help. So visit the Writing Center and launch. I hope y'all wrote these down because these are the keys. DJ Khaled said it best. These are the keys to success. All right. Here are some important numbers. So if you already have your notepad and your pen, if you have your cell phone out, I would go ahead. I will leave this up for a minute and let y'all just take note of these. Take a screenshot of the computer, whatever you need to do. If you're living in this community, I guarantee at one point you will call one of these phone numbers. So go ahead and get them now.
These numbers are also at the front desk if you need them while you are staying on campus. So if you come down and you need the number to CAPS, we can give you the numbers there. The numbers to financial aid, equal. We have all of these numbers also at the front desk if you find yourself needing them as well.
While you're recording the numbers, we do have another question that asks about safety lockers to keep valuables. We don't provide safety lockers for your valuables.
There's a in the room, there's like a nightstand desk that comes and you can lock your things up with that, but you have to bring your own lock and remember the codes and stuff because sometimes students lock their things and then they forget the code and then we have to go and try to cut it off and it's a whole ordeal. But there is a desk with a lock on it where you can secure your things if you feel like you need to do that.
All right, if you need these numbers after this point, feel free to reach out to these second and third numbers to myself and Dr. Phipps and get more information. Cool beans, here we go. Okay, so you guys now know the need to know to moving into Cougar Village 1. We told you about those awesome events to go to and be a part of. So here you go. We have some specific examples for you coming up this following month. So when y'all get here, right at the start of moving, we'll have some events for you. We will have game night in the lobby. Whatever community you're in, that's kind of a departmental wide thing. So game night. Then you can have cookies with your faculty and residents. Then we'll be having a movie night. You can see the Houston city limits in Lynn Houston Park, or go to the party in the park the following day. That same day, feel free to meet your new leaders in your buildings with RHA Mega Bingo. Then on the 22nd of August, be prepared to go to your mandatory floor meeting with your RA. You'll get to know your RA, your other residents on the floor, and maybe some other hall staff. That's where you will learn all the CV1 essentials. So do not miss that meeting. And then we have a new event called Playfair, specifically for our first year students. So make sure to go to that, visit our campus recreation and wellness center if you haven't already. And then at the end of that day, we will have Cougar Palooza to wrap things up and get you guys ready for your first week of classes. So here are just a few events that you guys can visit. This is just for that last week of August. So we will have a continuous calendar or some way to inform you guys of events throughout the year that your RA is putting on, that your FIR is hosting, or that even Dr. Phipps and myself are putting on. Okay.
I have a quick question. How big is the desk locking space? It's not big at all. Like, it might be as big as a cubby, like a kid's cubby in preschool. It goes back pretty deep, but it's not huge. Maybe you could fit like a small book bag in there at the most. Yeah, like more like a kid's cubby.
Okay, let me wrap up a few of these questions that we have. Are kitchen knives considered a weapon? I would say so. Do we have kitchen appliances available to the residents?
So we don't.
Like what kind?
We provide the kit. We provide obviously. So we have a kitchen and we have the microwave. If students want to take advantage of that, they definitely have to provide their own kitchen supplies.
Okay. So don't use them in a way that they would be used as a weapon. Please, food only. Can we bring string lights if they are battery powered? Gonna look to my veteran staff for that one.
So students have done that in the past. That is something that we are still trying to iron out in terms of clarification. I would say I would say no at this current time. And when you move in, if you want to follow back up with that, maybe we'll have some clarification on that by that time.
Do not plan your decor around string lights.
Yes, the fire marshal is very strict on what he allows and what he doesn't allow. And that's why like there's a little bit of a blurred line on what's okay and what's not. So yeah, I agree with Dr. Phipps. Like follow up with us when moving starts and maybe we can get some more answers from him once school starts.
I also got the question, how do we find different clubs available? So we have these few events here that we have listed on our screen right now. And you can go to some of these and maybe see if you can see some Cougars that are already here and involved in things around campus. But included in that, in our university-wide weeks of welcome, we will also have opportunities for you to meet some of our organizations around campus, some of our campus leaders, for them to tell you about their specific organizations more specifically than I could. But there will be events kind of continuously happening on campus for you to meet different people at different times.
Yeah, so I think the program that would be beneficial for you is the Cats Back program, and during that time, I actually go. I really enjoy Cats Back because I'm learning something every year. We have over 500 student organizations on campus, so if you go to get involved, you on your my I think it's my Access UH account, and you'll be able to like type in if you have a hair club, you can type in hair club, and if there's a one that's existing, you can either join that. The cool thing about here is that if you don't necessarily see a program that is of interest to you, you can start your own organization. I've had one of my RAs started the African Student Association or something like that, and that was her thing. She started that organization, and now it has grown to many student members. And so, if there's not a program or organization that you see on campus, you can actually start your own. But Cats Back, you'll be able to see most of, if not all, campus student organizations that we have available on campus. So that would be a great program for you to attend.
The Weeks of Welcome calendar will be dropping soon, so just feel free to type that in Google, Weeks of Welcome. I can't give you a specific date for when it will be open or available, but I would say just keep checking in for that, and that'll give you some more specifics of the Cats Back event that Dr. Phipps was telling you about, and other events that are happening on campus in those first 6 weeks. I got the question, when do classes start? Monday, August 23rd. So this bottom row of events on the 22nd, go to those and then get a good night's rest because you got class in the morning. But don't forget that mandatory floor meeting. Okay. Do I have any more burning questions? That's all I have in the chat right now. Did I miss anyone's question? If not, we cannot wait to meet you though.
I have one question. Yes, you can bring bed risers if you want to make your bed taller. And I think they have them at Walmart.
Okay, I'm getting a couple more questions before we wrap up. What laundry detergent do we need? I think that's up to preference as well, as long as it fits the washing machine. So I think we have the HE washing machine. So like they all will have that little sign on the
pretty much open. You can bring pods too. Pretty much, whatever your preference is. The washer usually takes everything. So
powder, liquid, pods.
Mm-hmm.
But please do bring your own.
And set your timer.
If your items are in there and then you go back and they're not, guess whose problem it is? Sorry, guys. People don't seem to see the busy sign on that. Okay. I also have a question. Do you allow door locks? Not really sure what that means, but I'm going to go ahead and say no. Because we have people on campus, so like our student staff, our hall staff, UHPD, and others need access to that room if an emergency or an incident does occur. So I'm going to go ahead and say no to door locks. You also have 3 other people living in your space. So if they do not have access to this door lock, they are without. So please, no door locks. Are shower curtains needed? You will have a shower curtain in your room. If not, reach out to us, but feel free to change your shower curtain to give the bathroom a little razzle dazzle. We love that. Make the space your own. But you are not required to bring them, as your room will already have one. Y'all are blowing up with the questions now. Okay. Give me a second to read them. I believe on our UH Cheryl UHSHRL website, there are lists of like do bring and don't bring. Someone asked, is there a checklist of the things that need to be brought? No.
Yes, marketing. Marketing has
marketing, right. So
marketing. I'm sorry, Miss McDougal. I'm sorry. Marketing sends out like right before it's time to come. Marketing sends out an email about the do's and don'ts that you can bring.
I think currently you can actually find that on our UHSHRL website.
You absolutely can.
I would say again, UHSHRL. Just put that in Google, and you could probably find the marketing list. It's already made. Love that. Let's see. I don't know.
So I just dropped in the chat our move-in guide. So that is what Ms. Dougal and Ms. Dewberry was referencing. So with that move-in guide, everything you know from like getting in the car to getting here to signing in and what not to bring is going to be listed in that Cougar move-in guide. So all the prohibited items, the move-in guide, your residence hall parking, the parking map, as well as, you know, this move-in Q&A session is kind of like what you're participating in right now. All of that is on that website. If you have specific CV1 questions, though, we will be able to answer those as it relates to the move-in process.
Perfect. So we did not record this session, or this session I don't think will be posted. But again, those resources are available to all of you, the resources Dr. Phipps just mentioned, and then we are an available resource. So if you took down those phone numbers, feel free to give us a call, or if you go on the UHSHRL website, you can also find our email and other contact information there. So feel free to reach out.
I am going to plug my email in the box now, though.
Perfect. Are shower heads detachable? I don't believe so.
They're not.
They're not. Can we replace the shower head? We asked if you don't. Not a very good idea.
No.
Thank you so much to the people that said thank you. This was helpful. We're glad that you got help. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. We do not take attendance. We did not take attendance for this particular meeting. RAs may take attendance for their mandatory meetings, like on August 22nd, or for their programs, but today we are not taking attendance. We don't need you to sign in. Thanks for coming. There is a towel rack in the bathroom, but again, 4 people share that bathroom, so don't know. Have a plan B for where to put your towel. Bed risers are not required. But you can bring your own bed risers. You can have your bed lofted. So I think those are just 2 separate things. If you would like to just have your bed a little higher, feel free to bring bed risers. If you want your bed to be almost like a bunk bed height, the top one, that's lofting. Okay. Please do not bring extension cords. We do also have certain surge protectors that you can use. So on that marketing checklist that Ms. Dewberry mentioned before, you will see the specifics for what kind of surge protectors you can bring for our outlets. Again, our fire system can tell where the incident started and how. We would not love to see your room number associated with a blown outlet. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. That was my last question.
I had one question, and it was about the bathroom and shower. So our community is not like CV2. In CV2, the shower and the restroom is kind of separate. Within our community, it's all in one. So you have like your open common area that you share, and then you have your toilet and the shower combined in one space. It's not separate. That's all that I have, and we are looking forward to seeing all of you during move-in and meeting you and your parents We'll also have some stuff for parents involved. I know that this is also an experience for them as well, so we want them to feel connected to this experience. So we're going to have some resource for parents out there, just to pretty much help them get connected to the experience and give them some resources they can utilize to help you all while you're here with us.
All righty, everybody. I think that's all. We can have portable fans. Yes, it gets hot. I would suggest it. But that was my last real question. If you have any others, you know where to find us. I'll keep this open for just a few more minutes if anybody has a burning question they'd like to ask in person. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in just a few short weeks here in
Thanks, guys.
CV1.
See y'all. We can't wait to
Bye.
welcome you.
Thanks.